RT Live from Moscow. The French state has waded into the battle on internet piracy. A second version of the country's Hadopi law means an ordinary person can be denied internet access if found illegally downloading 3 times. But the pirates are fighting back, saying it's an assault on human rights. RT's Matt Trezza reports.
Sam Goldschmidt is one of the many musicians trying to make it big in the internet age, but he says that's tough to do in France. He thinks the law protects record companies and a few established artists at the expense of both new talent and the average web user.
I understand it's necessary to raise the question of what our society should do with the internet and how to manage it, especially if you follow the lobby of the big companies and entertainment industry who want to dominate the internet and treat it like all other means of communication, to install control over everything and give us a ready-made soup of uninteresting stuff.
Compared to the rest of Europe, France has harsh rules regulating copyright infringement and illegal downloading. Legislators pushed through a second version of the country's so-called Hadopi law. This controversial statute is named after the French agency created to oversee and regulate the internet. The latest version gives a judge authority to cancel web service if a user has illegally downloaded more than 3 times. France's Internet Freedom Commission has temporarily blocked enforcement of the law, which was supposed to go into effect this month. But Goldschmidt thinks the new law still doesn't help artists like him.
Hadopi would mean that authorities would watch all illegal downloading on the web. If you're a musician like me and make songs, you think you could call them and ask if anyone's downloading your music illegally. They would refuse. It's not their role. They just watch for a catalogue of, say, 15 million titles, very well known and popular, that bring the profit to the entertainment industry to continue to pull the last penny out of those sales.
There's another player in this debate, the French Pirate Party. They claim to represent the people's rights in the information age. Maxime Roquet says downloading music is the key for musicians like Goldschmidt.
A lot of big artists now were not accepted by big companies, and after they put their work on the internet and a lot of people share it, they become famous. So.
The party's main goal is to keep laws like Hadopi from passing and preserve what they see as internet freedom.
You have an effect, a positive effect of file sharing that makes a lot of people discover some cultural work they wouldn't have discovered without file sharing.
He says once new artists become popular, they can make money through online sales, concerts, and merchandise. But record companies say France needs this law.
A few years ago, we had about 12 million internet users in France. More than 10 million of them downloaded files illegally. So as an association of artists, we found ourselves face to face with a social phenomenon. You can't fight millions of pirates. So we had to rethink our policies, and this reflection led to new legislation which has been in place since 2007.
These days, most French citizens access the internet at home, but cybercafes are still popular. People here hope for a compromise. They want musicians to make money, and they don't want strict laws regulating the net.
I think France has the merit to get the point, you know, and to say, okay, now we stop, and we need to think about authors, how can they take advantage of internet and can be paid as well, because they work hard to produce films, to produce music.
The major record labels are moving ahead with their efforts to curb illegal downloading here in France. But with the worst offenders using technology to stay one step ahead of the law, it may end up being the ordinary user who gets caught in the web. Matt Trezza, RT, Paris.